What is up, guys? In this video, we are going to be going over the only prompting formula that you will ever need so that you can crush it with platforms like ChatGPT, Bard, Gemini, Claude, and all the others. So if you're someone who has absolutely no experience with AI or you just don't know what you're doing, then this video is going to help you out a ton. And even if you're someone who's a little bit more experienced, who has been using AI for a little bit of time now, I promise this video also has some helpful tips for you. Look, most people are out here writing trash prompts and then they wonder why they get such a generic mid output. But after hundreds of hours of testing and years of experience with AI, I have developed this super duper simple, easy formula that will have you prompting like a pro by the end of this video. My name is Jason. I've been using AI to write content since probably around 2022. I have over 130K on Instagram, 6,000 subs on YouTube, and I use AI every single day to write videos just like this one that you're watching right now. And today I'm gonna be bringing you guys all of the secret prompting sauce for free because I'm tired of seeing people struggle with basic prompting. So here's how this all is going to shake out. First, we're going to cover the 6 key elements that make up a good prompt. Then I'm going to go into each of those 6 key elements and explain them. And then finally, we're going to bring it all together at the end with a real life example of how I used this prompting strategy to write a video that got over 137,000 views. So without further ado, join me on the computer and let's get into this. So these are the 6 key components of the perfect prompt. Task is the most important thing, and then persona is like the least important thing that is just kind of like a nice to have if you want to throw it in there. When you do a prompt, it doesn't necessarily need to include all 6 of these, right? Maybe it includes 3 or 4 of them, but you don't need to have all 6 in your prompts. All right, so first let's go over task. And for this tutorial, I'm going to be using Poppy, which in my opinion is the best AI tool out there for content creation. As you can see, it's just the same as using Claude or ChatGPT, except they have a ton of other capabilities here. So you can follow along with this tutorial through Claude or ChatGPT or whatever GPT you're using. All right, so let's get on with it. So for the task, obviously, this is the most important component out of all of them when it comes to a prompt, because without a task, you won't get a response, right? So for the task, you always want to start with an action verb, something like generate, give, write, analyze, right? You don't need any extra nice words. So for example, don't ask it, can you write me a YouTube video? Instead, just say, write me a YouTube video, okay? Or don't say things like please, okay? No need for that extra language. Just delete it because that's going to give the AI extra information that is really not necessary and it might potentially mess up your response. It's not like if you're nice to AI, then they're going to spare you during the robot revolution. Okay, just because you were nice to AI doesn't mean that like they're going to spare you when they like rise up or whatever. Okay? So don't use any of those nice words, okay? Just tell it what you want it to do. Another thing here is that you really have to be specific, okay? So obviously if you just say, write me a YouTube video, it's not gonna do it really well, okay? So we need to be a lot more specific when it comes to task. So one thing that you can do is obviously context and examples, which we'll go into later, but another thing that you can do is something called chain of thought prompting, okay? Chain of thought prompting. And that's a fancy term, but basically it just means step-by-step prompts, right? So for example, if you have a really long and complex task, like maybe writing a YouTube video, then we're gonna break it down into smaller steps that the AI can follow. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do to make this prompt a lot more specific. So we're gonna say, write me a YouTube video about fitness. I want you to follow the steps outlined below. 1, research and find a trending viral topic within the fitness niche. 2, come up with a title for the YouTube video. The title should trigger curiosity and evoke emotion in the viewer. And then 3, write out a full script for the video using the structure of intro, main body, and outro. Okay, so now you can see we have split up this complex prompt into steps, right? So we have step 1, step 2, and step 3. And that is an example of chain of thought prompting, where it's like we give it steps to follow. So let's see what it does when we enter this prompt. As you can see, it's following the steps. First, it's researching and finding a trending topic. And based on current fitness trends and Google Trends data, metabolic confusion, body recomp are highly searched topics, right? Then it comes up with a title, why your body isn't changing, the truth about body recomp. And then it writes the video script, okay? So as you can see, we were much more specific here with the prompt. We gave it certain steps to follow, and that's why we got a better output. What you can also do with chain of thought prompting is, instead of writing this out all in just one prompt, you can actually break up the steps into 3 separate prompts. So first we can prompt it with this step, then we can prompt it with this step, then we can finally prompt it with the 3rd step here. And let me show you what that looks like in a brand new chat. All right, so I'm gonna close this out here, open up a brand new fresh chat, and let's try this prompting out one by one. So first we're gonna enter the first prompt right there. Cool, it does that. Now we're gonna enter the second prompt, and now we're going to enter the last prompt. And as you can see, again, gives us a much cleaner response. Now that we broke up this complex task into 3 smaller steps so that the AI can follow logically in this sequence. All right, so now let's talk about the next key component of a good prompt, which is examples. And honestly, this is the secret sauce that makes your prompts really good, okay? Examples are the second most important thing to include in a prompt, because examples just give it so much to work with that it really makes your output a lot better. So there's really 2 ways that you can use examples. The first way is a format/structure example. So you can say format it exactly like this example, and then you paste in your example. The other way to use it is a style example. So write it in the style of this, right? This is great for matching brand voice. So if you ever want it to write in your style, what you can do is attach an example of how you talk so that it knows exactly how to match your brand voice. All right, so let's put this all together in a real life example. I'm gonna go with the example of writing a YouTube video about fitness. All right, so the first thing that we wanna do is get an example for the format and structure of this video. And for that, I'm going to use my YouTube script template. This is available for all of my free community members. If you want to join my free community and learn more about AI, content, all that, then join the free community. My script template is inside there, and you'll be able to access it through there. So I'm going to take this entire script template. I'm just going to copy the entire thing, go back to Poppy, and then put in a text node and paste that in there. So now we have a format structure example for it to go off of. We can plug that in, and that's perfect. Now, for the format and structure, we are going to go on YouTube and find another viral video about fitness, right? So I searched up how to gym for beginners. This video got 2.6 million views, and this is a perfect example for it to base the video off of, right? The structure, the format, the style, right? So we're gonna copy this link address, and then we're going to go back to Poppy and we're going to paste that in. So in terms of format and structure, now we have 2 different examples for it to go off of. And then finally, we're gonna do a style example so that it can match our brand voice. So what I'm going to do is go back to my channel, and I am going to get this video right here. This is 4 hours of me talking, which, by the way, if you want to go watch my 4-hour course on how to make $100,000 as a creator, you can go watch that. But this is 4 hours of me talking, right? So it's a great example for style for it to figure out exactly how I talk. So we're going to paste that in there, and we're going to connect it. And now that we have all this connected, we need to task it correctly, okay? Because we have a lot of stuff in here. So this is where the chain of thought task prompting is going to come into play. So obviously we can't really just do this all in one prompt, right? We're going to need to break it up into separate prompts. So we're going to use chain of thought prompting. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to ask it to analyze the video about how to make 100K as a content creator. This is my YouTube video. I want you to analyze my speaking style. There we go. All right, so here we go. It analyzed how I talk, and it got really specific. I say these phrases a lot, like lock in, let me show you. Cool, all right, so uses curse words naturally, massive W's, right? So now it knows, now it has a style example of how to match my brand voice, okay? All right, so now what we're gonna do is say, analyze the text node, right? That's this thing, it's called a text node. It's a template for a YouTube video script. All right, perfect. So it analyzed the text node. Now it knows exactly the structure as to how to actually script out a YouTube video. Now, again, with our chain of thought prompting, we're going step by step. So now we're gonna ask it to analyze this video right here. So there we go, analyze the step-by-step gym guide video, this one. And here you go, it analyzed that video, got all the key points. And with all of that complete, now we are ready to enter in the final prompt that is going to generate our YouTube video script. Rewrite the step-by-step beginner gym guide YouTube video, this one. In my style of speaking, make sure to format the video script based on the principles outlined in the text node, this one. Okay, so we're gonna enter that in and see what it gives us. All right, and now that just worked out perfectly. So I'm gonna go full screen in the chat here. And as you can see, after that final prompt, it did exactly what we needed it to do. It said, here's a rewrite of the gym guide in your speaking style. And it used the format that we gave it that is my specific format on how I want my YouTube video to be structured. So you can see it wrote a title, step-by-step beginner gym guide, full training plan, plus everything you need. And then it used the format of promise, proof, plan that I outlined in my YouTube script template. And it wrote it in my voice. Yo, what's up guys? In this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to start lifting weights, even if you're completely overwhelmed right now. I'm gonna break down everything you need, the workout plan, nutrition, supplements, all of it without the BS. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete roadmap to start your fitness journey. Look, I'll be real with you. I've been lifting for over 4 years and I've helped hundreds of clients go from complete beginners to actually knowing what they're doing in the gym. I'm not just talking out of my ass here. I've got the results to back it up. And then it even included like show transformation photos, client results. Here's how we're gonna break this down. First, we're gonna try blah, 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 right? And then it gives this long value section where it gives full workout plans and then tips and section 3 and nutrition and supplements, and then it writes a CTA. And so what you can do now is just copy this entire thing and then go into whatever note-taking software you use to keep track of your content. For me, I use Notion. And again, if you want this Content OS template so that you can track all of your content and make viral videos, it'll be included in the free community. So go down and join my free community if you want this template. But anyways, I'm going to make a new page here and I'm going to literally just paste in the entire script. And there we go. Now we have a full YouTube video with a title, with a full script, formatted correctly, using a viral example to base it off of, and it's in our own speaking style. All right, so now let's talk about context. And for this part of the prompt, you really just want to ask yourself 3 questions. 1, what's your situation? 2, what are you trying to achieve? And then 3, are there any constraints? So most of the context will, mostly be covered by the examples, right? Examples will probably give it enough context, but, sometimes you need to give it a little bit more context. For example, if you're trying to develop a workout plan, obviously you can't just write something like, write me a workout plan to get fit. No, we need to give it some context, right? So let's ask ourselves these 3 questions. What's your situation? What are you trying to achieve? Any constraints? So my situation is I am a 140-pound male that is 5'10" with a high metabolism. My goal is to reach 150 pounds in the next month. And then any constraints. So for example, a constraint is something like, I only have time to go to the gym 3 times a week. Okay, so now this is all of the context that we've given it that answers these 3 questions. Now we can go ahead and prompt it with, write me a workout plan to achieve my goals. And there we go. That is going to give us a much, much better prompt than just write me a workout plan. All right, so now let's talk about tone. And most people skip this, and this is the reason why they are unsatisfied with their generic and robotic sounding response. Right? Because if you don't give it a tone to work off of, it's gonna come out sounding like an AI, right? So you have to give it a tone. And like I mentioned before, the best way to specify tone is through an example, which we already covered, right? So go find some of your own content and plug it in here so that it can get the tone from there. The other thing you can do with Poppy is press this little thing here to start a recording. So that's really convenient, is you can just turn on the microphone and start talking for 10 minutes in order to give it an example for your tone. But if you don't have any examples to go off of, then here's what you can do. You can ask for tones like professional but approachable, casual and fun, academic and serious, motivational and energetic. And if you're having trouble finding out what tone to use, then pro tip, you can always just ask the AI to give you 5 tone keywords for a professional email that's not boring, right? But for this example, let's just go with the academic and serious tone. And so as you can see here, we told it to use an academic and serious tone, and that way it rewrote the video with the specific tone that we had in mind. All right, now let's talk about formatting your response. So if you want your response in a specific format, like a table or bullet points or markdown or code blocks, then you can specify that within the prompt. And again, the best way to specify a format is through an example. Like I showed before, you use my YouTube script template, that gives it the exact format. But if you don't have a format like that, then you can also specify the format in a prompt. So I have this CSV file, which is basically an Excel spreadsheet of a bunch of market research data from my audience. All right, so what we can do here is enter in a prompt like this. Summarize this data in a table with 3 columns: pain point, dream outcome, and then investment readiness. So let's enter in this prompt and see what it gives us. So there you go. As you can see, it formatted it in a table correctly, just like we specified, and it used our 3 columns. So that's perfect. And to show you another example of how you can format responses, what we can do here is ask it to write a VSL based on the responses and format it in Markdown with H2 and H3 headers. And there we go. It formatted it exactly how we wanted it with H3 and H2 headers, and it's in Markdown. So all we need to do is just copy this and then go into something like Notion or any note-taking software. And since it's formatted in Markdown, it'll paste in there correctly with the exact format that we want. All right, lastly, we're gonna cover persona. It's like a kind of like a fun little trick that you can do if you wish that you had a specific person to coach you. For example, if you would like to be personally coached by me or Alex Hormozi or Gary Vee or Ali Abdaal, anything like that, then I'm gonna show you how to do it right now. For example, if you wanna get personally coached by me, then what you can do is take my 4-hour course, copy the link, and then paste it in here. All right, so we attached my 4-hour course, so it basically has all of my knowledge. And then we can say something like, I have attached a video from Jason Cooperson. I want you to act as him and be my coach. I have a YouTube channel about fitness. What process do you suggest I use to write my next YouTube video? I want to make sure it goes viral and grows my channel. So we can enter in that prompt and see what it says. So as you can see, it pretty much gave the exact same advice that I would if I were to personally coach you. It said, hey, let me help you. Here's what I'll suggest based on my experience. First, you go research, then you find a viral hook, then you do script structure, then you use AI to help write, then you focus on the title and thumbnail, blah, 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 right? So you basically get my personal advice because you're using the AI to act as me. Another example that we can do is someone like Alex Hormozi. So we can take this 1 hour and 25-minute long video of Alex Hormozi basically just spitting game, right? And we can copy the link address. Then we can paste this video in, do a new chat, and then connect it, and basically do the exact same thing. So here's what we're gonna say. I have attached a YouTube video from Alex Hormozi. I want you to act as him and be my coach. I run a fitness business where I coach young men on how to get in shape. I'm struggling to get leads because I feel like my market is oversaturated. How do I stand out in a crowded market and scale my business from 5K a month to 15K a month? And as you can see, it gives me personalized feedback from exactly what Alex Hormozi would say if he were coaching us, right? He would tell us to get more specific with our avatar. He would tell us to create a better offer, focus on LTV, and then it actually gives us an implementation plan. Another quick little tip is that you can even use fictional characters. So let's try something like this. I'm struggling to stay consistent and disciplined with my habits. I want you to act as Batman and give me advice to solve my problem. So as you can see, we got Batman's guide to building ironclad discipline, speaking from the shadows of Gotham City. Listen carefully, citizen. Discipline isn't just a choice, it's a way of life. I didn't become Batman overnight. Here's how you can forge yourself into something more. The Dark Knight's core principles. right? And then it gives you the Batman protocol. Okay, so you can see how this is a pretty cool little trick that you can use to get specific advice from a coach or someone that you look up to. You can use their persona to give you advice. All right, so now we're gonna bring this all together and I'm going to show you a real life example of how I got a video 138,000 views. This was for one of my clients. His name is Seth. If you want to check out the video, you can go check out his channel. But this video right here, I helped him with and used this exact prompting formula to write this video for him. And yeah, as you can see, it got over 138,000 views, over 100x multiplier. It's getting 37 views an hour, 3 weeks after it's been posted. So let's go behind the scenes and I'm gonna show you exactly how I prompted this video. So the first thing that we had to do with this video was find a reference to base it off of. And I watched this video from Charlie Morgan 2 months ago, and I thought it was a great video. It wasn't even that viral. It didn't even get that many views. As you can see, the original only got 26,000 views and we actually turned it into something better. So let's start with that. We're gonna copy the link address, go into Poppy and paste it right here. And now we're going to go to Seth's channel and just copy this video right here so that we can get an example of him speaking. And now we're going to ask it to analyze the video about desexualizing your brain. This is a YouTube video from my channel. Give a specific breakdown on my speaking style. So as you can see, we gave it 2 tasks. First, it's going to analyze, then it's going to give a breakdown. We attached some context, right? We said this is a YouTube video from my channel. And then we gave it the example of this right here. And we're using all of that so that we can create a personalized tone for this video. All right, so there we go. Using task, examples, and context, we were able to get a specific tone and brand voice for this video. Now we're going to give it another task. We're gonna ask it to rewrite the video, this one, in my speaking style. Right, so we've given it a task, it knows what tone to use, and now we're giving it another example from the original video so that it can format the video properly. And there you go. Now, as you can see, it has written out the entire video perfectly. That is it, guys. It's that simple. And I just showed you a real life example right in front of your eyes of exactly how I used this AI prompting technique to write a YouTube video that got 138,000 views for my client. So that's gonna wrap it up. I will see you back over here. All right, guys, if this video helped you out, go ahead and subscribe because we will be dropping a ton more valuable content to help you level up your game with AI on this channel. And if you wanna try out Poppy, go ahead and click the first link in the description down below. If you use my code Jason, it'll give you $25 off. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.